Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining Lewis University's television network. Today is Thursday, October 20th, 2022. I'm Tony Denardis.
And I'm Randall Sutton.
And we begin with our top international stories.
The company taking some of the blame for the baby formula shortage is trying to make amends. Abbott Nutrition says it's planning to invest $500 million in a new factory to manufacture specialty infant formulas. The shutdown of Abbott's infant nutrition plant in Sturgis, Michigan, and recall of some of its product led to a formula shortage that is ongoing, a Census Bureau survey. A Census Bureau survey reports nearly 1/3 of households with an infant younger than 1 are still having trouble finding formula. Abbott says it's in the final stages of finding a site for the new factory.
Democratic Senate nominee John Fetterman of Pennsylvania has the all clear from his doctor after having a stroke back in May. He released a medical report Wednesday with a note from his doctor saying he's recovering well and has no work restrictions. Fetterman has faced a number of questions about transparency surrounding his health and recovery, including from Republican opponent Mehmet Oz. He still has some hearing difficulty, but his doctor says his speech is normal. Fetterman is also taking medicine for his heart to prevent future strokes.
Free avocados for everyone in Philadelphia. What is usually a pricey item at the store is now free to anyone in the city of brotherly love. Hundreds lined up, braving the chilly temps at FDR State Park on Wednesday. The organization sharing access is hosting what it says its largest free distribution ever. They are calling it Avogeddon. In a post on Instagram, it says due to a massive surplus of avocados in South America, there are literally millions of perfectly edible avocados going to waste. They'll be giving away avocados until Friday.
A Wisconsin group is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to block President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program. The Brown County Taxpayers Association filed a request for the court to step in on an emergency basis and temporarily block the program from taking effect. They claim it violates the separation of powers by encroaching on Congress's exclusive spending power. The group filed its request to Justice Amy Coney Barrett after a federal judge dismissed its case and an appeals court refused its emergency request for a pause. The filing claims if the court does not intervene, student loan cancellation could begin as soon as October 23rd. Applications for student loan forgiveness officially open Monday.
We are just 1 month away from the start of the biggest soccer tournament in the world. The Qatar World Cup will run between November 20th and December 18th with the best teams in the world. Fans will fly all over to support their countries. It's the first time this event is being held in the Middle East. Organizers say that almost 2.9 million tickets have been sold so far for the more than 60 matches.
Up next, we will have your local news.
Stay tuned.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 Tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
A 17-year-old teen died unexpectedly after collapsing while singing a solo in a choir event in Naperville on Friday. Daniel Moshe, a senior at Leyden High School, was performing at the All-State Honors Show Choir for the Illinois American Choral Directors Association at Naperville North High School. The teen's mother said Moshe checked in with her during the day and told her everything was all good, referring to the performance. Naperville fire crews were dispatched just after 6 p.m. for reports of an unconscious 17-year-old boy. The teen was taken to Edwards Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The cause of death is still unclear. Moshe's family said he planned to attend college next year and had dreams of performing on Broadway.
The fifth kidnapping and robbery occurred in Wrigleyville over the weekend. In all instances, the victims were temporarily abducted and robbed at gunpoint near Wrigley Field in the early morning. The two suspects are possibly described as black males, standing 5 foot 10 inches to 6 feet tall, weighing 150 to 170 pounds. Believed the suspects to be 25 to 30 years old of age and armed with a handgun.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Republican challenger Darren Bailey squared off Tuesday in the final televised debate ahead of the election next month. The debate mainly focused on the economy and crime. A new poll released Monday showed the incumbent Pritzker is leading by 22 points. Pritzker began by calling Bailey a Trump extremist, which sparked an eventful debate. Bailey then called Chicago Pritzkerville, saying that every one of Pritzker's extreme policies are destroying the city. Bailey also said it's important to get our southern border under control in order for crime to decrease. Pritzker claimed his administration has been investing to counter gangs and other issues. Bailey and Pritzker both stated that they opposed the Bears potentially using state tax dollars for a new stadium in Arlington Heights. Early voting is already underway in Illinois, and the election is set for November 8th.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot supports the Chicago Police Superintendent's decision not to fire an officer who lied about his ties to the Proud Boy extremist group. The officer has not been charged with a crime and was thoroughly investigated and given a 120-day suspension. Mayor Lightfoot has made it clear that there is no place in the police department or any other city department for white supremacists or extremists. Several current and former members of the Proud Boys have been charged with seditious conspiracy. On October the 6th, a former leader pleaded guilty and agreed to cooperate with the ongoing investigation.
The first snowfall of the season arrived early this season as O'Hare picked up a trace of snow on Monday. The average first date for a trace of snow is October 31st, making this the earliest observed snow of the season since October 4th of 2014. While the week started out feeling like late November, it will seem like mid-September with this weekend, with temperatures 15 degrees above average. Looks like we have a warm break this weekend until the next possible sign of snow, which could come at the end of next week. The first measurable snowfall typically happens around November 18th, but has come as early as October 19th in the past.
When we return, we will have our Lewis Spotlight.
And later, we have the latest in the 5-day weather forecast. Stay with us. Alrighty.
How we sounding?
You said here go.
Yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
I'd like to welcome Gregory Harms as the fourth guest of our Lewis Spotlight this semester. Gregory Harms specializes in U.S. foreign policy and the Middle East. He lectures and has a blog, and he's also traveled throughout the region and has been interviewed on BBC Radio, which is a major radio network in England. He also has 4 books published, with the 4th, No Politics, No Religion, coming out in about a week. You can purchase the book on gregoryharms.com or on Amazon. And then also at Lewis, Gregory is an adjunct professor in philosophy and ethics. So I'd like to welcome you to the show today, and thanks for taking a few minutes to be with us.
Thanks, Tony. I appreciate it.
So I just mentioned that you're an adjunct professor here at Lewis in philosophy and ethics. I'm just curious, how long have you been teaching here at the university?
Unbelievably, almost 10 years. That'd be 10 years in January. I don't know where the time has gone. But
And then was there anything in particular that kind of drove you to Lewis or made you want to teach here?
I had just, at the time, it would have been 2003, January. I just wrapped up a little over a decade's worth of research and writing, and I desperately needed a job. And so I knew the professor who was the chair of the department here, and he said, just take one class and see if you like it, you know. Right. And I ended up, you know, it ended up being a really good fit. I feel like a duck in water in the classroom. The reason I knew the professor was I went here. I did my undergrad here. I did my master's here. My father went here back in the 60s. So you could say that Lewis and I go way back.
So you've definitely enjoyed your time here for the decades that you've been a part of the Lewis family.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even as a student, I mean, I got 30 years in. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
And I mentioned before too, you just had your fourth book published, No Politics, No Religion. It'll be available in about a week. I'm just kind of curious if you can tell us a little bit what it's about, a little preview for people.
The thrust of the book, I guess, is revealed in the title, No Politics, No Religion. This is a code of conduct that I think many of us are familiar with. We're discouraged in this culture from talking about politics and religion, and I've had God knows how many students tell me in the classroom that they at home are discouraged from talking about politics and religion, that they're kind of no-no topics. I've been talking about politics and religion with students in the classroom for, like I said, about a decade, and we've had no problems. No one has stormed out of the room, had a meltdown, lost their cool, none of these things. We handle these topics rationally and constructively. And I think that's the important thing to bear in mind, is that it's not the topics. The topics aren't the problem. The problem is how we commonly discuss these topics. So, you know, maybe your parents or your aunt at the holiday dinner table, they don't want you talking about these things because they don't want you talking, getting into debates with like your uncles who bicker about these topics. So that's just us talking about these things badly. We should be talking about these things, one, and two, we should be talking about them in a more constructive, rational way.
So it's pretty much kind of how to handle these discussions about politics and religion is basically what inspired you to write this book?
Yeah, I wanted to sort of, I mean, I was very much inspired by by the conversations I've had in the classroom. You know, I mean, my students had a tremendous impact on this book. I wanted the readers of the book to know that these topics are not inherently destabilizing. That we can talk about them, we can approach them in a rational way, and have very fruitful conversations, which I think we desperately need if we're concerned about the state of our democracy.
And you've given us a lot of insight about what all your book entails and kind of the key points that you're trying to get across. But is there kind of one thing in particular that you kind of want people to take away from this book as they read it?
I would say, I've talked, like I said, with students, hundreds, maybe 1,000 or more now, about, you know, in the classroom, I explain, you know, what liberalism is, what conservatism is. You know, we go through these technical terms. And then I follow that up with, you don't need to use them. You don't need to use these terms of art, which are political philosophy terms. You don't need to use them. Not everything, not every sentence that comes out of someone's mouth about politics has to get stamped liberal or conservative. You can just articulate your political likes and dislikes and preferences and whatnot. You can articulate those things in your own vocabulary. So I think if I had a hope for the book, it would be that people would find that confidence to articulate their political ideas and political preferences in their own vocabulary. They don't have to use the one that exists.
Right. Well, I'd like to congratulate you on the book, first off, and I'd like to also thank you for taking time to kind of explain how we should really talk about politics and religion with others. So I'd like to thank you once again for being
I
here.
appreciate it, Tony. Thank you.
And up next, we have your entertainment news. Stay tuned.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Actor Matthew Perry says he's in a healthy place now and is sharing his previous battles with addiction. The Friends star is out with a new memoir called Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. The book chronicles his struggles with alcoholism and substance abuse. The 53-year-old says he nearly died 4 years ago while hooked on opioids. He spent 5 months in a hospital after his colon burst. Perry says he's battled addiction for decades and has gone to rehab 15 times, but says he is healthy now and is able to tell his story.
Taking a vacation at the Mouse House will cost you more cheese during the upcoming holidays. Ticket prices for Disneyland in California have risen. In some cases, costs even more than the U.S. annual inflation rate of 8.2%. Among the areas seeing price hikes are hotel, valet parking, and food items at parks in both Florida and California. It would cost a family of 2 adults and 2 children nearly $1,100 a single day for tickets to both Disneyland parks and the Genie Plus Skip the Line service. The cheapest single-day Disneyland ticket has held steady at $104 per day, but the past few years, the number of these special price down has gone up.
James Corden is unbanned from a New York City restaurant after the owner called him a tough customer. The talk show host apologized profusely to owner of the famed Balthazar restaurant. The owner wrote on Instagram, "I strongly believe in second chances," and joked, "If Corden lets me host for 9 months, I will rescind his ban." Earlier this week, he shared that Corden was banned from the restaurant for being the most abusive customer to Balthazar servers since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. The owner of Balthazar says Corden called with the apology and all is forgiven.
Fans of rapper Missy Elliott living in Virginia might lose control after taking a walk on her street. A portion of McLean Street in Portsmouth is now named after the famous songstress. She joined others in unveiling Missy Elliott Boulevard Monday. Elliott is not a stranger to the area. She grew up there and now has a key to the city. On Instagram, the 5-time Grammy winner said she was, quote, humbly grateful to be from Portsmouth, and the manager of that city wouldn't be more proud of her, end of quote. Saying in a statement that, quote, Missy Elliott's trailblazing career is a testament that when you dream big, anything is possible.
People in Providence, Rhode Island have been running amok since Hocus Pocus 2 was filmed there, and a little bakery in the town is getting in on the fun with cupcakes that look like the Sanderson sisters and their book of spells. LaSalle Bakery has been packed with ghouls and goblins alike, clamoring for the spooky yet sweet treats. Apparently, some of the cupcakes were even taken to the film's set last year. You know, Winifred Sanderson and her sisters prefer to steal the lives of children, but for us mortals, cupcakes are the way to go.
Up next, we will have our 5-day weather forecast.
Stay with us.
I can't even say.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Randall with weather. Here's a 7-day outlook. Thursday today is 61 degrees outside. Friday is a high of 74, a low of 54. Saturday is a nice day. It's a high of 77 degrees and a low of 59. Sunday is partly cloudy, a high of 75 and a low of 63. Monday is cloudy, high of 74 degrees and a low of 57. And Tuesday is a bit rainy, a high of 66 and a low of 48. And Wednesday is raining. So get your umbrellas, a high of 56 degrees Wednesday. When we come back, we will have our Lewis Sports Update.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
I am Grace Hilbert, and it is time for your sports update. The Lewis women's golf finished 7th at the Panther Invite on Sunday. Kendall Farm and Katie Minkso led the way with the lowest scores of 75 and 77. The Flyers finished with a team score of 663. They will be back in action on October 28th at the Kentucky Wesleyan Invite. The Lewis men's golf team finished 8th place at the Panther Invite. The team had a total score of 623 and were led by Jake Pluth, who scored a low score of 71 points. Cody Donovan and Ty Dottie both finished with a combined score of 157. They play next on Saturday, the 28th, at the Kentucky Wesleyan Invite. The men's bowling team finished in 19th place at the Western Shootout on Sunday. The Flyers had 5,330 for 6 traditional games on Saturday and then finished with 2,852 for 16 Baker games on Sunday. The Flyers' grand total was 8,152 points. Juan Burks was the Flyers' top scorer in the tournament, with Tim Hoke right behind. The Flyers will head to West Lafayette, India for the Boilermaker Classic on October 29th. The Lewis men's soccer team had their senior night on Sunday, defeating Rockhurst by a score of 5-1. Christian Perez had a hat trick totaling 3 goals for the Flyers. Sebastian Doppelhofer also totaled 3 saves. The Flyers will be back in action tomorrow as they face Missouri S&T on the road. This past weekend, both the men's and women's Lewis University swimming teams split their meets. At home on Friday, the women's team was victorious over Illinois Wesleyan by a score of 130 to 69, but fell to Missouri St. Louis 184 to 78 on Saturday. Much like the women's team, the men's team was able to overcome the Wesleyan Titans. The men's team, however, was defeated the following day in St. Louis by a score of 176 to 87. Flyers swimming is back in action at the Lewis Pool on Saturday, October 29th at 1 p.m. That's it for sports. I'm Grace Hilbert. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Grace. That's it for today's news. Thank you for watching. As a reminder, you can always keep up with Lewis News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and by visiting our YouTube channel. I'm Randall Sutton.
And I'm Tony DeNardis. Have a great night.
Is